Hello everyone, welcome back to CloudOpsCraft. Today we are going to discuss about Docker Compose, managing multiple multi-container applications. Okay, if you didn't watch the previous videos, I suggest you to watch that, so you will have a continuity. Okay, so you can I'll attach playlist link in the description, so you check it and watch previous videos if you didn't. Okay, so you can if you watch previous videos you can able to understand this clearly. Okay, so okay, so far we have been spinning up containers individually. That works for demos, but real apps are not just one container, right? A real world web app usually has a front end, it may be with React, Angular or Nginx, a backend with Node.js or Flask or Spring Boot, and a database with MySQL or PostgreSQL, maybe a cache with Redis. Okay, imagine starting each container manually, setting networks, volumes, and environments variable every time. Nightmare, right? So this is where Docker Compose saves the day. Okay, running multiple containers manually is like turning on all the lights in your house, one switch at a time. Okay, Docker Compose is the master switch. One file, one command, everything runs. Okay, so instead of running Docker and front end, Docker and back end, Docker and database, we are just going to spin up all the containers with the help of Docker Compose of up command. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, simply by typing Docker Compose up, what it will do, it everything runs together. Okay, so what is a Docker Compose? You may have this question, right? What is Docker Compose? Actually, Docker Compose is a tool to define and manage multi-container apps in a single YAML file. It lets you declare service, networks, and volumes in one place. Runs everything. Okay, it will runs everything. Okay, whenever you run Docker Compose up. Okay, Docker Compose is like a YAML blueprint. Okay, so first on most systems Docker desktop already includes Docker Compose. Okay, but in our case, last time, like in initial class, what we done, we just installed Docker. Okay, so now what we can do is we can install Docker Compose first. After that we will work with Docker Compose. Okay, so Docker Compose up means it will start everything. Okay, Docker Compose down means it will stop and do cleanup. Next is Docker Compose PS means it will list running service. Okay, so Docker Compose up, what it will do, it will start all the services. Docker hyphen compose down, what it will do, it will stop all the services. Okay, Docker Compose pages, it will show running containers. Okay, let's install Docker and we can have a real time example. Okay, we will deploy a application with the Docker Compose. Since you already know how to write a Dockerfile, you can easily write Docker Compose also. Okay, if you don't know how to write a Dockerfile, then watch my previous videos so you can able to write. Okay, let's go to server. Okay, this is my server. If I type Docker hyphen compose hyphen version, see, I don't have Docker Compose. Okay, so let me install that. Before installing it, I have to I'll update my server. Okay, so sudo apt update. Okay, now we have updated our server. Now we will install Docker Compose. Now we are going to create a multi-container app. Okay, so let me explain the project structure. Okay, so our project structure should be, we will have one folder called multi container app. Inside that we will have app.py. We will build our code with Flask, okay, and we will have requirements.txt file to store our requirements, okay, and we will have Dockerfile, and we will have docker compose.yaml. Docker compose is an YAML file, okay. Okay, this is the structure we are going to create, okay. Let's start. So folder mkdir, okay, and folder name is multi container app. Let me enter into it. Now I am going to create app.py. It's just a small app, like a simple app.py, okay. Since we are not developers, we are just creating sample application just to run our application into the container, okay. So I'll first import Redis, because we are going to use multiple service here for this Docker compose, okay. So from Flask, import Flask. In real time you will not write backend code, okay. I'm just writing here for demo. Let me complete this. It's just a simple app, okay, just to print you like just to, whenever we reload the page, it will show the count how many times you hit refresh button, okay. App and catchy, I'll catch you this redis host, also redis host equal to redis, and I'll provide port of redis is 6379. Okay, actually for port we don't need this, okay. Catchy and app root dev allow we are going to first get the count, catchy dot inco, it's written. If you are unable to understand this code, also no issues, okay, it's just a Python code, okay. We are just writing sample application, but you ensure that you must understand how to write a Docker file, all those things, okay, that I'll explain while we are doing, so you no need to worry on that. I'll just call this count times, and I'll call this function and I'll provide port as 5000. Okay, this is our app.py. Okay, now let's create requirements.txt file. Our major requirements here is Flask and Redis only, nothing else, okay. So requirements.txt, okay, I'll add a Flask and Redis as my dependencies. Okay, now we will write a Docker file, okay. So vi space Dockerfile. You already know, right? I have already covered how to write your own Dockerfile. Okay. If you didn't watch that video, watch. Okay, I'll provide playlist link. Okay, I'll just provide image name. Image. I'll call the image Python. Okay, Python 3.9. I'll just use slim. Okay, to reduce image size, and I'll make work directory dir as slash app folder. Okay, and I'll copy the requirements. We are just copying it from our host machine to our container. Requirements.txt. After that, we have to run. Okay, I hope you understood, right, what we are doing. First we are from 3.9 hyphen slim, you can see, right, what it means. This sets the base image for our container. Python 3.9 slim is a lightweight version of Python 3.9. Okay, small size. Okay, your container starts from this minimal Python environment. Work dir. Okay, we are setting the working directory inside the container to app folder. Any future commands, okay, copy, run, all these commands will run inside this app folder. This copy requirements.txt, what it is doing, it copies the requirement file from your host machine into containers app directory. Okay, this dot means current directory inside container. Okay, which is our slash app. Okay, next we are going to run pip install no catchy hyphen dir hyphen or requirements dot txt. Here, what it means, it installs Python dependencies listed in the requirements.txt inside the container. Here you can see, right, no catchy. Okay, here should hyphen should come. Okay, hyphen no hyphen catchy hyphen dir. It ensures pip does not store catchy. Okay, reduces image size. Okay, that's why I have used it. Next is copy. Okay, we are copying our app.py that we have written. Okay, to our image. Okay, what it means, it copies the app.py file from your host into the container, again copied into app folder. Okay, which is working directory. Okay, next cmd. cmd and I am going to run the command python app.py. Okay, what it means, the default command, the container runs when started. Okay, this launches our Flask app using Python. Okay, whenever container starts, it will run this command to start our application. Okay, in short, what we are doing, with the help of we are choosing a base environment. With the help of work here, we are setting the working directory. With the help of copy, we are just like adding project files into container. Okay, with the help of run, we are installing dependencies. Okay, again we are copying, again we are doing cmd for to run the application. Okay, let me save this. Okay, now let's write docker compose.yaml. Okay, it is an YAML file. Okay, YAML is it's not a programming language. Okay, YAML is a data format like XML and JSON. Okay, which is like a normal English. Okay, now we are going to write this YAML file. Okay, version I'll just provide as 3.9. Did you know what this 3.9 indicates? This specifies which version of Docker Compose file format you are using. Here I have provided 3.9, which supports latest syntax and features. Okay, so I have provided 3.9. Okay, services. Okay, services. Now here we are going to use web and Redis services. Okay, web. Okay, here this services, what it is doing, it defines all containers your application need. Okay, first one is service, one is web. Okay, which is our Flask app. Okay, web, we are going to build build container name. Container name, I'll just name my container as flask app. Okay, the thing is here what we are doing, dot build, what it will do, it will build the Docker image from the Docker file in the current folder. We have created our Docker file, right, that we are running with the help of Docker Compose. Okay, with the help of this build. Okay, next is container name flask app. Okay, it gives a custom easy to read name for our container. Okay, next is port. Okay, ports 5000, host port is 5000, container port also I am giving as 5000. So what it will do, it maps host port 5000 to container port 5000, so we can access our flask app at 5000 port. Okay, next is depends on. Okay, where it depends, it depends on Redis, right? So we have to write it depends on Redis. Okay, so here what it will do, the web service waits for the Redis service to start, because we are adding this as a dependency. Okay, it ensures Redis container comes up before flask app starts. Okay, now we are going to write another service. Okay, because this is multi container app, right? So we are going to write another service now, which is Redis. Okay, image Redis Alpine. Okay, I am using image as Alpine. Okay, so the thing is here what we are doing, any idea what we are doing here? Here we are putting official Redis lightweight image Alpine. Okay, small size Linux distribution. Okay, after that what we are going to do, we are just going to write our container name again, because we have to create container name for this also, right? Container underscore name Redis catchy. I'll name this as a Redis catchy. Previously our our web app name is flask app, container name is flask app, our Redis container name is Redis catchy. Okay, and ports hyphen 6379 colon 6379. Okay, so this is what it indicates. It maps the Redis default port. Okay, you can connect to Redis using localhost 6379 if needed. Okay, here what we are doing, version, which is compose file format service. We are defining multiple service. One is our web app, another one is Redis. Okay, here purpose of web app is it's a flask app container. Okay, this is our main application, and Redis, this is a Redis catchy container, and depends on we are adding as a Redis. Okay, it will start, it is a start order. Okay, so it will ensure that Redis container is up and running. And ports, why we are using ports, to expose our container ports. Okay, so the eye level flow of this app should be, so user. Okay, when user types http localhost 5000, it will go to flask app. Okay, if you do this in browser, it will go to flask app go from flask app to Redis catchy. So it returns the page it count, because it is the one catching it, right? Page it count. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, since here I am using AWS VM. Okay, so you must allow 5000 port and our Redis port. What is our Redis port? We haven't saved still. Okay, so edit Redis port is 7 9, you have to allow this in your security group. Okay, I have already did it. Okay, if you are not doing it, it will not work. So just enable it. Okay, just enable it and provide okay, once you save that. Okay, now let me save this. Okay, now I have saved it, right? So you can see I have all my files. Okay, what's next? Now you know how to write a Docker file, how to write a Docker compose. Okay, and you understood the eye level for of this application. Now we have to build, right, how to run this project. First we have to you don't need to run separately, you don't need to run your Docker file. Just doing Docker compose up is enough, right? So let's do that. So Docker hyphen compose hyphen d for detached mode, it will run in the backend. Up hyphen build. What issue we are getting? Here there is an issue. Are you able to identify what is the issue here? Are you able to get? If you get the if you are able to understand what was the issue, just let me know on the comment section. Okay. The correct command is, it should be Docker compose up. Okay. After that only you have to provide hyphen d. Okay, so up what it will do, it starts the container. Hyphen d, it runs in the detached mode. Build is, it force rebuild. Okay, so you should not use hyphen d. Hyphen d should not come before up. Okay, so the syntax is Docker compose options and command. Okay, because hyphen d is not a global option. Okay, it's not a valid global option, it's an option for up command. Okay, so we have to run like this only. And if you want to see logs, then you can avoid hyphen d also. Okay, so let's run without hyphen d so we can check, okay, all the logs. Okay, just to explain this, I used hyphen d there. Okay, there was an build error, you can see at line number Dockerfile line number 11. What was the issue? Are you able to understand what is the issue? You can see, if I use cat and if I use Docker, if I open Dockerfile, you can see this. Here you should, there should be a space. Okay, I haven't used this space, so only we are getting this issue. Let me provide this space. Okay, now I'll run again. Again we are getting an issue. Copied requirements. Here you can see what this indicates. Any idea? You can see it is failing on our requirements file, right? Error. While copying requirements, we are getting an issue. What was the issue and how to fix? The reason for making mistakes here is, I want you to know debugging also. Okay, actually spelling is wrong. We misspelled the name. You can see here. I have used RE. Okay, it should RE. Okay, I missed E here, so we are getting this issue. Okay, so I'll update it. Okay, in real time this and all issues you may get. Okay, so that's why I made some issues just to explain this kind of things. Okay, now again we will run. Again we are getting an issue. Why we are getting this issue? We fixed it, right? Even you can see here is same name, but why we are getting this issue? Any idea? Even it has been updated, right? But here you can see again, here I haven't updated, so I have to update here also. Okay, it is installing all the dependencies. Okay, now our application is running. Okay, this is our application logs. Okay, so I'll just can about this. If I do docker ps, I can't see anything because I am not running this in the backend. Okay, if you do control c, it will come out of this. Okay, so only it came out. Okay, so again if I want to run, what I can do this time, I just to show the logs I just did this. Okay, I will use -d now. Okay, we will run it in the backend and we can check logs with the help of docker logs command. Okay, we are getting some issues. If I do docker ps, our image is running, like our container is running, but only our redis container is running. If I do docker images, you can see the two image, multi-container web app image as well as this. I'll describe both and I'll recreate. Okay, so docker orm -f docker rmi, because previously we executed, right? That's why we are getting some issues. Okay, I'll just delete all these things. Okay, now we will run this image again. Again it is creating from the scratch, you can see. Now we are getting an error. What was the error? Here you can see. I'll just go with continue. Okay, I'll just continue. Okay, now we are getting some more error, you can see. Are you able to understand what is the issue here? Redis is up to date. Okay, it is recreating the Flask app, you can see. While recreating Flask app, we are getting error. Are you able to understand what is the error? Let me show you. Container config error we are getting. How to fix this? Because in real time you will get this kind of issues. Okay, just writing docker compose file, okay, anyone can write, but you should have capable to fix this. The thing is, the problem is here the a broken old container exists. Okay, docker compose try to reuse it, but its image was deleted because we deleted it. Okay, compose was crashes. This is a very common docker compose issue when the old container was created using corrupted image, because previously we got some image issue, right? The ssa image was deleted by our last build. We deleted it manually. Okay, so compose tries to read that metadata, so since it's missing, we are getting these issues. So how to fix this? You can use compose, you can stop and remove all containers from this project. How you can do that? By using docker compose down hyphen remove hyphen orpans. Now we have deleted everything. Okay, so if I type docker ps, I don't have anything. Hyphen a, I don't have anything. Docker images, I have images, so I'll destroy the images also. Okay, docker image run -a-f. Okay, I just reclaimed 33 MB. Okay, by deleting everything. Okay, so now let's rebuild it. Okay, so this is how you have to debug, and this is how you have to fix the issues. Okay, now it we compose, what it will do, it will build a fresh image and it creates a clean containers, avoid using broken metadata. Now you can see perfectly it was done without any issues. Okay, So this is how in real time you have to handle. Okay, so Docker Compose PS, you can see both containers. Okay, one is our Flask app and another one is Redis. Okay, now how I can test this? Any idea how I can test this? If I want to run this application, then how I can run this? Any idea? Since I am running this this in AWS VM, how to run this application? If you know, just let me know in the comment section. Just pause the video and let me know in the comment section. Okay, let me open the browser. You can just use your virtual machine IP address, okay, with 5000 port. Okay, so I'll just open one tab. Okay, my IP address is 65 dot 2.127.106.5000. Okay, okay, actually it's wrong. We should type HTTP, not HTTP. P 65 dot 2 dot, even you can add this in your resume. Okay, so you can 65.2 dot, if you are fresher you can add it. Okay, so they know that you did something. Okay, 5000, because we are open to port 5000. You can see actually I already iterated this one time, so it is showing 2. Okay, if I reload it, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. You can see whenever I reload it counts. How it counts? Because of our Redis only. Even if I'll just copy this and I'll close this. If I open, it will start from where we left. You can see you hit 25 times. Okay, this is how you have to build. You can run multiple service with the help of Docker Compose. Okay, now we can check the logs. Docker logs. I hope you understood how to work with Docker Compose with multi-container app, right? If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. You can see this is for our Flask app, and for Redis. Okay, this is Redis log. Okay, our app is working perfectly. So it is storing the cache, right? So the it counter is stored inside Redis container. Okay, proving multi-container communication works perfectly. Okay, even I am closing this again. I am running this. See 34. It is storing Redis. Okay, so it is storing the it in the Redis. Okay, so how to manage the application lifecycle? You can use Docker Compose logs. Okay, to view the logs. If you want to restart, then you can use Docker-compose restart. If you want to stop, then you can do Docker-compose stop. If you want to destroy, you can use Docker Compose rm. Okay, let's destroy this. Okay, first Docker Compose stop. Now we are stopping both. You no need to stop one by one here. Okay, with the help of Docker Compose you can just like that you can stop all the containers. Okay, so it is stopping. Okay, so it is done. Now we are going to destroy Docker rm, Docker Compose rm. Yeah, it is I am just going to destroy this. Now I have destroyed it. If I do Docker ps, nothing. I have Docker ps -a, nothing. Okay, so what we learned why Compose is needed, and we built a real Flask plus Redis app. We saw how Compose handles networks and our communication between our web app and Redis, right? We learned to scale services, right? So this is how in real time you will create a Docker Compose file. Okay, if you like this breakdown, subscribe to Cloud Ops Craft. We will simplify cloud and DevOps concepts every week. Thank you.